Finally, after 3 years of waiting since Deltarune Chapter 1's release back in 2018 and 6 years of waiting if you want to count Undertale's release back in 2015, we finally have a new installment in this Undertale franchise with Deltarune Chapter 2. And holy crap dude, I am incredibly excited, as I'm sure many of you are. With Deltarune being so different from Undertale, it really makes me wonder how the story will progress and how the gameplay might change. In Deltarune Chapter 1, we explored the Lightners and Darkners world, and at the end of the game, it seemed like this was all some sort of Elseworld fantasy that was in reality some sort of playset for everyone. But of course, that's probably not the truth, as we did experience that whole world together with Susie and Kris. Speaking of, in the ending of Deltarune Chapter 1, Kris, or really Chara, came out of bed in the dead of night and ripped out their heart and threw it in a cage. But if you notice, that heart is clearly you, the player. So this is telling me that we were puppeting Kris to do these actions throughout the entire story, and the reason why so many NPCs were telling us that we were acting differently than usual only shows that we are trying to manipulate Kris's life to be whatever we want. But Kris is fighting back, Chara is fighting back, and I really am interested to see where that goes next. But what I want to discuss for today's video are my top 5 hopes and dreams for Deltarune Chapter 2. Number 1, we need more of Lancer. His character arc in that first game was really a treat to see. His friendship that grows with you, and more specifically Susie, was an enjoyable romp, and he is just one of the best parts of this game, and I would love to see even more of him. And I want to see how he's doing as king of the Lightner and Darkner world. And come on, we could all use a little more Lancer in our life. Number 2. I hope the writing is just as fresh as it's always been. Toby Fox really has a knack for writing characters and writing humorous interactions with them. Getting attached to these characters is one of the biggest draws to playing a Toby Fox game, in my opinion. Especially with the Undertale characters in the overworld. That was incredibly interesting to have this whole town laid out and have these character interactions with your classmates. It was very fun, and again, it endeared us to these characters of this world. And that brings me to my next point. Number 3, the overworld. How are we going to interact with it this time? In the first game, we pretty much explored the entire town. However, there's so much you can do to expand this overworld. We don't have to be locked within this one town. We can explore even past that. Another thing I hope to see is how the overworld and Darkner Lightner world can interact with one another. Because before, they were very separate entities, different worlds separate from each other. What if in Chapter 2, when you do something in the overworld, it can affect the Lightner Darkner world and vice versa? I think that'd be an interesting dynamic. And what's up with that Grobies? Like, it's clearly Grobies from Undertale, but Sans just kind of scribbled it out? I don't know, there's something he's not telling us, and I feel like this Sans might be the Sans from Undertale. I know, big brain theory, but it's interesting to think about nonetheless. Moving on to my next point, on number 4, I want to talk about the ending of Chapter 1. What exactly happened there? I mean, Kris, or should I say Chara, took us out of their chest and threw us in a cage. Does that insinuate that we've been kind of puppeting them throughout the whole game? Through previous interactions, it certainly seems to be the case, because each character keeps telling us that we're acting differently than usual. So it really makes me wonder what exactly is going on. Is Chara gonna be a murderous weirdo, or are we the perpetrators here? Are we the villains trying to control an innocent? I really don't know, but the fact that they can stick their hand through their chest, throw their heart into the cage, and be completely fine? It's a bit worrying, and I hope we get some answers to it. But what's even more mysterious than this ending is my final hope and dream for this video. Number 5, W.D. Gaster. I mean, what's up with him? In the overworld, when you travel down towards the map, there's this basement, and I know that has to do something with him. The music that plays when speed up is his theme, and furthermore, if you find a certain tree in the Darkness dimension, there is this mysterious man who gives you an egg, and you take that egg back with you, so it did happen. And honestly, I think W.D. Gaster might be Ness. Thank you for watching the video. I know at points it seems like I was just kinda talking on a tangent, but I'm real passionate about this game, and I hope you guys are too. And I know that talking about it, a few hours before the game's release might seem self-defeating, but Hopefully this is the first of many videos that I'll get to talk about Deltarune. Until then, don't forget to keep on keeping on. See you later.